up to 83 miles per hour wind gusts. And this is from the high resolution rapid refresh. So this is as accurate as you can get. Hey, good morning to you. Good afternoon. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. Happy Tuesday to every single one of you. We do have a lot of storms that are firing up in the south today, and it's actually going to get worse once we get to around noontime today. Plus, we have this Arctic air temperatures still sticking around, and I do have a new update on the second blast that's coming later this month, and it's looking a little bit colder. Now, we have a lot of severe weather, severe flooding, as well as a lot of hail that's going to be coming in these storms all day today, all afternoon tonight, and into tomorrow for South Carolina and North Carolina. So I'm going to go through the impacts and the timing of what you can expect. So do me a favor, hit that like button, or if you use social media, share this video to other people that may need this information. There's going to be a lot of severe weather as far as flooding, and there's going to be a lot of hail cores going through this storm system today and tonight. So help me get the word out, guys. Share this on social media. If you don't use that, please hit that like button. And if you've never been here before, hello. My name is Mark. I do upload every single day, just not sundown from Friday to Saturday. That's when I take my Sabbath. But God bless every single one of you. I hope you'll have a very blessed day today. Now, we still have mixed precipitation in all this area for today, as well as this portion for New York and portions of Vermont, which I'm showing is higher elevations. It's like 1 to 2 inches, possible 3 in the highest. You do have rain in the green and thunderstorms in this green section here that will carry over to the southeast late tonight and into tomorrow morning. Plus, you have a severe area for heavy flooding. It's all going to be due to this cold front coming down. It's pretty much going to make everything like a stall effect. You have all the dew points rising up, the cold air creating that boundary going down, and it's going to be a line of storms all afternoon long. Now, that's the two videos I have for you today to watch. On the very top shows you the Arctic air that is coming into our country, and it shows you the update as well coming in later this month. Now, we'll go through your temperatures on that, as well as all the severe flooding that will happen from East Texas, northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and southern Mississippi as well, with a very heavy rainfall amounts. And I will go through that for you as well. The links are always in the description to save you time, whether you're here to see the temperatures. If you don't care, there's a severe weather link, so you can see those as well. But I will be talking about that right after the temperatures. Now, we did have a tornado yesterday in Huntsville, Texas, and it was right before a big populated area. And it was actually a brief tornado touchdown at the Walmart shopping center on Interstate 45. Some minor fence damage and 2 trees were down. And here it is right before mainly the Kroger section. You can see all the parking lot, all the people, all the businesses. Matter of fact, if you back up a little bit, you'll see how close it came to hitting a lot of people. This was right on the outside of town, so it was very close. Thank God it didn't do worse. And so far for our 2021 hurricane season, I don't see any potential anomaly that shows me high velocity of low millibar pressure systems that's anywhere in our country yet for this month. However, you can see that right around Australia, there's a big anomaly that is coming right around the early 20s of this month. And that could be a problem right there. Now, when I look at the AO, the Arctic Oscillation, according to the Euro, it still shows that we're having our little cold spill that will be going away shortly. It will linger around to the 12th and the 13th to the northeast. Then we'll have a little bump of cooler temperatures around the 14th. If you notice, from the 16th, it starts coming into our country, and around the 18th, it's really good into our country with cold temperatures all the way down to a -2. So that's pretty far into our country, and it does hang around from the 18th, 19th, all the way to the 21st, and maybe a little bit longer. But now the GFS is updated to not only around the 18th, 19th, and the 20th through the 21st that we will be down to a -2. It is also agreeing that it will stretch in again to a -3 into our country, which is even further around the 22nd, 23rd, and possibly the 24th, before going back to a neutral phase. Now, as we look into the 500 millibar level, which is way up in the atmosphere, we can see this cold air anomaly does come in around the 17th, and it does move into the Midwest, over Michigan, over Ohio Valley around the 18th, and it does scoot into the Northeast with the intercoastal seeing the worst of the coldest temperatures for the 19th and the 20th as it twirls around the Northeast, and even possibly lingering around a little bit deeper on the 21st with this low cold spill going towards Delaware, Maryland, as it stretches to northern Virginia on the 21st and then leaves from Maine by the 22nd. Now, this little cold spill that we're going to have around the 14th and 15th, it actually won't be super cold Arctic air. It puts everybody in the 40 temperatures with this little cool down we're going to have around the 14th and 15th. Even in the south, you're going to be in the high 40s. So it will be a cool down around the 14th, morning of the 15th. And then our temperatures for around the 17th, 18th, and 19th and on from when this second cold blast comes in. On the 18th, it's going to be mostly in the Midwest with a lot of people in the 40s, but it will put Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas, even northern Michigan into 30-degree temperatures waking up on the 18th. In the morning of the 19th, it's going to move in real good and put a lot of people in 30s while you still got 40s in the central U.S. And you'll also be in the 30s and 40s for the West Coast also. But once again, northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, 30-degree temperatures. Even Michigan is going to be on 30-degree temperatures at this point. As a matter of fact, I even see 31 and a lot of 32, so you could have a frost coming. So you need to watch out for your plants if you are growing your stuff early. As well as Ohio Valley, going to be in the upper 30s. Ohio, a little bit colder. And it will stretch over to the northeast on the intercoastal states. You will be in 30-degree temperatures while everybody else is in the 40s and 50s. And again, on the 20th, it will be another cold air section from this Arctic air that's going to be bubbling around for a couple of days. And once again, Wisconsin, Michigan, y'all going to be all in the 30s. Ohio Valley, it's going to be northern Ohio Valley in the 30s. Lower Ohio Valley going to be in the 40s. Now, as this moves a little further east on the 20th, it will put the 30s in the northeast as well for intercoastal, but now it's going to stretch out to everybody in the northeast, waking up with 30s, low 40s in the morning. And moving into what we're feeling like this morning, a lot of freezing temperatures in the Midwest. Looks like the same temperatures will be coming around the 18th, 19th, 20th. Michigan also, Ohio Valley in the 40s, northeast in the 40s. 50s and 60s in the south, so it is going to be a little chilly for a few people, but it is going to warm up real nice today. But with the wind chills, it's really going to make the Midwest feels like you're in the 20s, as well as Michigan, you're going to feel like you're in the 20s to possibly low 30s, and the upper Ohio Valley as well. But all in all, we're all going to warm up to some real good temperatures for today. A lot of people in the 60s, especially in the very edges of the country, is going to be in the 90s everywhere, so it's really going to be a nice warm up today. Tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up with the same conditions in the 30s for Michigan, Ohio Valley, Wisconsin, Illinois, as well as some in the northeast, but mostly in the low 40s. The wind chills tomorrow will put a lot of people feeling like they're in the 20s for Michigan, 20s to low 30s for Ohio Valley, as well as the northeast. You're going to feel like you're in the 30s as well. Maybe even possibly some 20s with the wind chill for tomorrow. But no worries, not that much of a big deal. There will be frost that you need to watch out for if you have plants, but there will be a big warm up once again for tomorrow. Now for today, you will have some rainfall in this green areas, but mostly this dark green is where you're going to see your main storms for today. And this big green area here so far is where the heavy rainfall is going to be. But this will move to the east as the day goes along into tonight. There's going to be more storms coming with a lot heavier rain. And not only for this rain, these cells have a lot of hail cores to them. So this whole area right here, you have to watch out for hail today. You have a 5% chance in this whole brown section for hail today. And I will show you what the cells look like according to high resolution rapid refresh. Plus, they have a wind threat as well for this section for today. Now, I will show you the winds as well. It's not widespread, serious damaging winds, but you can see in front of these cells that it's 30, 40, and even some places have 50 miles per hour wind gusts passing with them. For tomorrow, you will have rain in this green section here, but the marginal for the thunderstorms tomorrow is in this darker green right here in northern Florida, southern Georgia. And I do show that some cells do go by there, so you do got to watch out for some hail possibilities as well. And with all this storm going on and all this possible hail and damaging winds, we do have a 2% chance for tornadoes right here in southern Texas, southeast Texas. So you need to watch out for that. As well as a big green area all the way from Bryan, Texas, all the way over to Mobile, Alabama. And it does go above Jackson, Mississippi, right above Monroe, down Lafayette, straight across New Orleans. Now to start off, First thing, 10 o'clock in the morning, there will be these cells that will be crossing over in many places. And you can see they have some nasty little hail cores to them. That's where you're going to be getting your hail threat from. And if you watch these cells go throughout the day, you can see them bring up some hail cores in a lot of these cells as they go through, especially for southeast Texas. Then once you get to about 1 o'clock in this afternoon, then you see some nasty hail cores because the storms are really blowing up for Arkansas as well, and I will show you that. But look at that. Look at these nasty hail cores that do pop up, especially for Texas. So 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you still get nasty hail cores for Texas. I will show you up above in just a second. But as you watch it go into the later afternoon, now you're starting to get some nasty little hail cores around 1, 2 p.m. for Louisiana and southern Mississippi as well. Then as you go through your afternoon, you'll see it get worse. Look at all these hail cores in all these cells that are stretching out. This is hail coming out of these systems. This is going to be a nasty little rain system. And this is all the way until 6 o'clock tonight. You still have problems with hail cores coming out of these cells as it starts moving to the east. Now this big blow up here, I'll show you this in just a second. Now, as you go through your morning, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, you still have these storms brewing through northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, going through central Mississippi right above Jackson. And you have these very big storms above Houston, southeast Texas. That'll be all morning and all afternoon. But now you got storms going from Wichita Falls, Texas, all the way into Oklahoma. And it will spread into Arkansas, southern Missouri as well as the afternoon picks up. So as we go into about 1 o'clock this afternoon, now you can see the storms start blowing up for Oklahoma, and they will carry over into Arkansas as well, while everybody's getting all these storms today. 4 o'clock in the afternoon is covering Arkansas with some serious storms. 5, 6 o'clock still around. You can see the nasty hail cores. I'll go through that. 7 o'clock, still got all these storms. 4 o'clock really is when it starts blowing up really good around the whole south. You have it all in Arkansas. You have it going into southern Missouri as well. But you can see all the hail cores in the south that are in these cells. And each one of them is going to be dropping hail out of it. So you need to watch out for it. As far as what size, it will change according to the storm cell. In Florida, I will show you in a second. But as you go into 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you still have nasty hail cores moving all through southeast Louisiana, southern Mississippi, Alabama, the panhandle of Florida. While you got some nasty hail cores in Texas as well. And it's all over Texas. Everybody's getting nasty hail cores from this storm system that y'all going to be having in the south today. 6, 7 o'clock at night, now it's starting to move into Mississippi real good, especially by 9. Northern Mississippi gets full of some thunderstorms, while San Antonio is getting a lot of storms as well. And you can see the hail cores in San Antonio. I will back that up just for a second. Around 7 o'clock, you see it move through. 8, nasty hail cores with those. 9 o'clock, still rumbling some hail and some strong storms. Going into 11 o'clock now, it's starting to go by Gonzales. It's leaving San Antonio, and it's going to work its way east. 9, 10 o'clock, I'm showing is a real good magic hour for this hail. It's not only is it going to be all over San Antonio and southeast Texas, it's also going to be stretching all the way across northern Louisiana and southern Mississippi as well. And you can see the storms that will be brewing for Georgia and South Carolina throughout the day. There's going to be a lot of energy in this section. Then it's going to be a quiet section for northern Alabama, northern Georgia. And then it's going to stretch all the way to South Carolina. As you go through your day, it gets into about 9, 10 o'clock. It starts popping up some strong cells, little storms. I don't see major hail problem for South Carolina out of all this. But you will get some storms and some systems pass through all the way to about 3 o'clock in the morning. Then it's going to get worse for y'all. Actually, when this passes through, you can see 3 o'clock in the morning, you're still in Louisiana, southern Mississippi, across Montgomery, Alabama, northern Georgia, across Atlanta. But it also gets into South Carolina where it fills up Columbia area until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then carries over towards Jacksonville and leaves out. At the same time, back at the 10 o'clock shot again, you can see these storms move across Mississippi, and it goes across northern Alabama all the way to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock, you still got storms. But southern Louisiana with all these hail cores, with all these storms passing through, all these hail cores within them, there'll be a lot of hail you need to watch out for, a lot of serious flooding, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's going to be a lot of storms, A lot of brewing going on around Lafayette, New Orleans, the North Shore also. You're going to have storms all the way until 3 o'clock in the morning. But it's going to stretch all the way until the morning goes away. And it's going to stretch all the way until tomorrow morning to about 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. And as we get into about 1 p.m. this afternoon, you can see that Florida really starts to blow up with some storms and some possible hail in those storms. I do see some hail cores. They're not super strong, but you do have a lot of storm cells passing all down Florida today. And you can see it go all through the day. A little hail core right there. Not too bad, but it's a little hail. A little hail core right there. It's at 8 p.m. So storms will be brewing all the way till 8 with a bad little section, with a bad possible section of hail core right around 9 o'clock tonight. It looks like it's right underneath Yeehaw Junction. So you need to watch out for that. That's a nasty little sail. As it goes through the night, overnight, it calms back down. Daytime heating again tomorrow for Florida. And then the storms are going to pop right back up again. I saw another nasty hail. And you can see the system pushed off to the Gulf of Mexico by 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Still got nasty hail cores in northern Florida. You also have them for all across Florida. So you got Jacksonville, you got Orlando, and you got Miami with some possible hail cores for some strong cells that's going to be passing by for tomorrow. That's around 4 p.m. And when we look for possibilities of hail, according to the high resolution rapid refresh that's in these storms, you can see it in the yellow that early this morning there is a lot of hail cores and a lot of possible hail in the atmosphere that will fall out of these storms. Then once you get into this afternoon, you get that daytime heating going on. Now you get multiple areas, especially around noontime, of this hail. It'll switch over into Arkansas really bad by 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon while it blows up for southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi and southern Alabama. This is around 3 to 4 o'clock. Then it'll keep going all afternoon long. Then it'll be localized just for northern Louisiana, the North Shore of Louisiana, and central Mississippi around 9 o'clock tonight, plus some in southern Alabama. You can see that moves across Alabama and Georgia into the overnight hours. But this big glob of hail will move, as well as what you're getting all over there in San Antonio, but this big glob of hail will move across northern Louisiana from 8 o'clock tonight, all across central Mississippi till 1 o'clock in the morning, and then it'll stretch out all the way to early morning, 2, 3 o'clock, even 4 o'clock, before it finally starts to go away at 7 o'clock in the morning. You can see some of them will have some hail cores with them, and it will have hail in the atmosphere that will fall from these storms. And it's still going real good for right below Columbia all the way till 6 o'clock in the morning for hail to be in these storms and drop hail on you. And you see it will go all the way until tomorrow morning around 11 o'clock for southern Georgia, right by Savannah, as it goes away. And Florida, those storm cells in Florida that I showed you right around 5 p.m., you can see they do have some hail in the atmosphere when those storms come around. So it could be some possible hail that does fall, and it does stop around 10 o'clock at night. But when tomorrow comes again, you have that same problem. Once again, for hail to come out of these systems, it's not as strong as today. But once again, once you get around 5 o'clock tomorrow, it will pop up with a chance for hail once again. Now, with your dew points, you can see how the cold air coming down keeps that dew point line in check. It don't get any higher up, but at the same time, you're feeding your atmosphere with all this moisture from these dew points, with the cold air suppressing that down. It's creating a very long line of storms that could happen. And these are some strong dew points. It gets into the high 70s, especially around 6, 7 o'clock at night for Louisiana and Texas. And the panhandle of Florida gets into 70 dew points as well, and a little bit of southern Alabama. But as your evening goes along, you'll see that it gets suppressed down from the moisture. Then it's going to be a southern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, southern Georgia, and the panhandle of Florida as you go through the early morning hours. Then when it transfers over these storms from southern Georgia to South Carolina and, of course, Florida, you'll see that the dew points start to go down as the morning goes along. So really till 10 o'clock in the morning, and then your storm should be gone at that point. So the wind gusts that will be with these cells could get severe. They seem mild at first. And this is, as you go through 11 o'clock this morning through Texas, you'll see that you start to get some orange on some of those storm cells that do pass by. Now the green is what you're looking at is a high 20s to low 30s. But once you get to that orange, then you're starting to see 40 miles per hour wind gust that could be passing by. This is somewhere around Trinity, Texas, but it has a chance for 40 miles per hour wind gusts in those storms as it brews up today. You see all the orange in it? Those are all 40s to mid 40s. I don't see any red yet. And then once you get to 5 p.m. tonight, then it starts changing to right below Dallas. It gets right around Corsicana. These are also high 30s to 40 miles per hour wind gusts that could be in these storm cells. So you need to watch out as it moves by all evening long. It will have some good wind gusts with them. Now that red will be 50. So there's a chance for some 50 miles per hour wind gusts with these storms as they push through all night long. The heaviest of the wind gusts will move through Shreveport, Louisiana around 7 o'clock tonight. It'll be in the high 30s to possible 40s, but you can see the bowing out in the storm, but it does have some high wind gust values that could be possible for today. And this is all going to be with these storm cells as it comes down this afternoon. 7, 8 o'clock at night, it starts calming down a little bit, but then it expands out for 9. Remember that long line of cells I showed you around 9, 10 o'clock? These will have a good chance for some 30 to 40 miles per hour wind gusts that could be with them. Also for southern Arkansas as well. As the storm moves through all night long, you do get a chance for a little bit of 50s. That is a possibility. That's around 10 o'clock at night. That was some bad cells that I did see in that area somewhere around Lake Providence, Louisiana. Then 11 o'clock at night, you see around Greenville, Mississippi. This is where, again, all the major wind gusts would be 30 and 40 miles per hour. It seems like it's central Mississippi. And it does die out around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Everything else is in the 20s to high 20s. Now, San Antonio, you get a lot of heavy rainfall, but not only that, you get a lot of strong wind gusts that comes with some of these cells today. And right around 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the afternoon today, you get some very strong wind gusts around Pearsall and Devine. And it gets all the way up to a possible of 70 miles per hour wind gusts that comes with that storm system as it moves through. Matter of fact, I even see even stronger. Let me see if I can pinpoint that exactly. It's going to be hard. There we go. Up to 83 miles per hour wind gusts. And this is from the high resolution rapid refresh. So this is as accurate as you can get. You definitely have some bad wind gusts, 80 miles per hour that could act up for y'all as you go through your afternoon into you tonight. I do see some 40s and 50s pop around San Antonio as you go through your 10, 11 o'clock hour. But it will move to the east as the morning comes along. San Marcos, possibility for you as this does kind of hover around y'all for the rest of the night into the morning. And then those are 20s. All this green is in the 20s. Possible spot or two for a 30. But that's going to change to 20 miles per hour wind gusts for y'all as it turns into the morning. But you do have a bad chance, San Antonio, first thing this afternoon, 6, 7 o'clock, for some very high wind gusts. And then for South Carolina and North Carolina, around 2 o'clock in the morning when this cold air pushes down, it will have some winds with it. You could get some wind gusts up to 30, 40 miles per hour possible throughout the morning. Around 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, it looks like it's worse for North Carolina, 30s and 40s. As it goes through the morning and leaves. So it's not really a big wind gust problem I see for y'all with these storm cells. Y'all main problem is going to be when the cold air comes down in the morning, it will bring some winds with it. And when we look from the total precipitation from the high resolution rapid refresh, which instead of giving us a big bulky area of possible 2 to 3 inches, it really has it in the sections of where it will fall. So you'll see a little better as far as your rainfall. Now 10 o'clock tonight, the storms really start to move in with some heavy rainfall as you go into the afternoon. Now 10 o'clock this morning, you really get some good rainfall coming down. Then as you go into the afternoon, it really blows up for southeast Texas. Goes over Arkansas, northern Louisiana by 9 o'clock tonight, southern Mississippi. Into the overnight hours, it goes into Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and moves on. And as well as Florida, they will be seeing some precipitation as well. Just to give you a broad look of what this precipitation could be like. All this dark blue is a 1/4 inch to a possible 1/2 inch, but this light blue gets to where it's a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch. Now let me show you exactly what's going on with the heavier rainfall amounts. Southern Texas, especially San Antonio, you have a chance for 1 to 3 inches all around you. I mean, the actual center of town says a quarter inch, but all the outskirts will be 2 to 3 inches of rainfall possible. And it's all across the south of Texas. It's 2 to 3 inches, some hot spots of even more, like 4 inches. Corpus Christi, quarter of an inch, but the outskirts will be heavier rainfall, 1 to 3. All the way down to South Texas is going to see 2 to 3 inches with possible 4 or more. And then right north of Houston, you have 2-3 inches. You do have a big hot spot. I will go over that. It stretches all the way to Bryan, all the way to northern Texas towards Texarkana with 2 to 3 inches with a possible strip of 4 right below Texarkana. Southern Arkansas, you have 2 to 3 inches for sure. Northern Louisiana. And you have very heavy rainfall above Jackson, Mississippi and below Jackson, Mississippi. Well, we do have a bunch of hot spots of heavy rainfall. Let me go through that real quick. And so far, according to high resolution rapid refresh, which is the most accurate detail you can get, not only does it show Montgomery is swallowed in 2 to 3 inches, even 4 inches all around you, all the way to Huntsville and Livingston. There's a chance for 5 and 6 inches, even 7 all through this. What a hot spot for Montgomery. With a hot spot west of Conroe, southwest of New Waverly, with a chance up to 10 inches of rainfall. So there is a chance for some good flooding in this area you need to watch out for, especially for southeast Texas. Now Louisiana, Lake Charles shows it to be about an inch, but right below you by Cameron, y'all going to get 4 or 5 possible inches of rainfall out of this. As well as South Baton Rouge, in between Baton Rouge and Donaldsonville. Chance for 5 to 6 inches of rainfall. You're going to get a lot in Lake Pontchartrain. The North Shore is going to see 3 to 4 inches, maybe even 5 the further you get away. Slidell, a couple of inches. Southern Mississippi, 4 or 5 inches as well. Even Biloxi is going to get a couple of inches on this. It's going to be a lot of heavy rainfall that's going to fall all across the south. So southern Arkansas, Texarkana, Buckner, El Dorado, cross it. Y'all going to see 2-3 inches plus. Northeast Louisiana, Yazoo City, Mississippi, y'all going to see anywhere from 2 to 3 inches possible. Below Jackson by Crystal Springs is a little hot spot. It will see 2 to 3 inches, but it also says a possibility of even more. So we need to watch out for that. And then heavier amounts for Alabama is a little sporadic. Mostly everybody's going to see a half an inch. Some areas will see an inch or 2 for southern Alabama and the panhandle of Florida as well. South Carolina and North Carolina, upstate South Carolina, looks like it's about half an inch, but it is heavier once you get around Columbia. The outskirts of Columbia, 1 to 3 inches possible, and then it goes to over Florence, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, all 1 to 2 inches, and towards Wilmington, North Carolina, 1 to 2 inches also. Now Florida, the Panhandle, Tallahassee, looks like 1 to 2 inches possible. Right around Jacksonville, there's isolated areas of 1 to 2 inches also. Below Daytona Beach and above Orlando is a good hot spot for 1 to 3 inches. That is possible. As well as east of Sebring, Florida, 3 to 4 inches. And west of Miami, 2 to 3 inches possible. Why Miami only going to get about a half an inch to a quarter inch. And there will be some heavy rainfall for central Bahamas as well. Up to 1 or 2 inches for sure. Northern Bahamas is going to be on the outskirts. But central Bahamas really could get a lot of rainfall out of this. All right, I'm going to play this. This is from GFS. It'll show you the storms that you have in now, plus the possible storms that will be coming later. This is a 2-week period, and remember, GFS has been updated to have more forecast confidence within a 2-week period. So it's not set in stone as far as these storms, but it is more accurate than it used to be. So we can take it as a good location of where storms might form up for next time. Thank you again for watching my channel. I do appreciate every single one of you. Please alert others, help people be aware of this flooding, of this rain, and these storm cells that where tornadoes could pop up out of it. Also, all this hail that will be doing some damage to some people's cars and homes. If you do use social media, just go to Twitter. My link is in the description of my Twitter handle, and just retweet what I tweet of this video for today. That's the easiest way you can do it, or just tweet it yourself. Thank you so much once again. Now, of course, I want to praise God like we should every day. Thank you, God, for raising me up again today. Let me wake up to another day in your glory. For I am a sinner against your laws. Amen. Psalm 67. God, be merciful unto us and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us, Selah. That thy way may be known upon earth, thy saving health among all nations. Let the people praise thee, O God. Let all the people praise thee. O let the nations be glad and sing for joy, for thou shalt judge the people righteously, and govern the nations upon earth, Selah. Let the people praise thee, O God. Let all the people praise thee. Then shall the earth yield her increase, and God, even our own God, shall bless us. God shall bless us, and all the ends of the earth shall fear him. Amen. God bless all of you. Hope you have a very wonderful Tuesday out there. Hope nobody loses power over this, because I know y'all been getting a lot of that lately. All glory does go to God, God of Jacob. Amen. Have a blessed day, everybody.